What do you
Yep.
think Underwood's ceiling is? And you mentioned that, it's a bad marriage, but you also said it may not matter. Do you think he can carry Michigan to an elite level? Like, how high of a level can he carry them? Can he be what, Cam Newton or Trevor Lawrence was and just bring those teams to the mountaintop? Is a little bit lower than that. And then what can Michigan, changing the guard from their previous OC Kurt Campbell to Chip Lindsey, what can they do to best utilize his talent while, of course, still keeping the identity they want to keep?
Yeah. So ceiling is Heisman Trophy, national championship, first round pick of the NFL, and then Hall of Fame NFL career. That's the ceiling on Bryce Underwood. He's that good. If you haven't watched his tape, for those of you who like to watch tape, go look at it. It's phenomenal. The throws are all worldly. They're insane. The speed, it's amazing. And then he's quick too. He's athletic. Like it's wild. He's huge. He's huge. He's big. You see it when he's on the field. Um, the but what I talked about there was the marriage, and that's why I say it may not matter. It may not matter, and I'm really curious to see what Michigan does because this talk about offensive coordinator change all you want. Sherrone Moore has a system that he likes to run, and
Yes.
it is very different from what Underwood is used to and what utilizes his skill set. And they haven't recruited around Underwood. Like Michigan isn't a wide receiver university. They don't recruit wide receivers at that level. They develop offensive line, tight end, and running back on their side, and they have gotten by with what they've needed to at the wide receiver and at the quarterback level outside of JJ.
Hey guys, it's Sam here, reminding you to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and click the like button if you haven't done so already. College football with Sam is my dream job. I want to make this the biggest and best college football channel and also cover this sport for the rest of my life. Making sure that more than 42% of our viewers are subscribed and more than 12% of our subscribers have hit the notification bell is a critical part to the channel's success. So make sure that you have liked the video, that you have hit the notification bell, that you have subscribed to the channel, and that if you have the time, watch the video all the way through. Again, this is my dream job. I believe that we can make this the biggest and best college football channel on YouTube. You've helped me over the past 4 seasons earn over $40,000, 32,730 of which has gone towards paying my tuition, which has put me on track to graduating from the University of Michigan completely debt-free. So make sure to do those things to support the channel. It's totally free, and in return, you get the best college football analysis on YouTube.
But even JJ had his limitations, right? Like you weren't seeing JJ step back and make Peyton Manning type pocket
Yeah,
throws or Tom
Underwood is a
Brady type
higher
pocket
ceiling
throws.
than JJ. That's
At,
obvious.
exactly, exactly. But if he isn't executing in the system the way that he needs to, if he doesn't take the 3 yard check down on 3rd and 3 because he wants to throw a 50-yard touchdown down the field, but his wide receiver doesn't have the go up and get it in a 50-50 type ball, the whole thing may not work. And so that's where the question mark comes in. What do they need to do in order to be successful? The first thing is they need to do is they need to give him some opportunity to showcase, or else they're going to lose him. The NIL deal being what it is, he's a competitor, and if he comes in and he's not having success in the system, and he feels like it's because well, this isn't what I know I can be better, but this isn't allowing me to be as good. He will leave. He will transfer, no question, because ultimately he's costing himself money if he doesn't perform his best in college to become the number one overall pick in the NFL draft. So they need to give him easy throws. They need to give him some quick windows. They need to get him comfortable. All those cliche things that you hear. But then they also need to a few times a game say, we're going to run play action. And we're going to let you throw a 40-yard deep bomb down the field and see if you can execute it. They need to mix then in what they ultimately want to do, which is establish the ground game, um, with the ability to put the ball in his hands, whether it's on a rollout or on a, so you establish the ground game and you do that, and then you have a play action, a rollout to him, where then he has the ability to take it off and run or throw the stretch play on the deep end, the middle route, or the check down, and trust that he'll make the correct decision. The problem is when you try to get all these things married together, you can end up with what Ohio State ended up with in the first half of the year last year, where it's just like just the most frustrating thing you've ever seen, and looks like nobody's on the same page with each other. But if you then ultimately run what you need to run, and you ultimately run at the strengths of your team, then you can be what Ohio State was in the second half of the year and just absolutely bludgeon everyone they played except for Texas. So it's going to be a true test of coaching at Michigan this next year to be able to marry Underwood and how they've recruited and developed on the offensive side up until this year. And that's where I question, you and I talked about what we questioned Moore all year last year. So this is truly the test, because if it doesn't go well and he loses Underwood after all that momentum they had signing, disaster. Can you imagine that fan base if they so? Because he's gone. I mean, they won't.
Yeah, I'm a Michigan fan. If they do poorly and he loses Underwood, I'm out, because that's
exactly.
it's unacceptable. And I think, I don't think it'll be a disaster, but I also don't think he's going to win the national title or even a playoff game, because I think they do ultimately need those receivers. And
not this year.
Exactly.
I don't think he wins him a national title or a playoff game this year. But the ceiling of Underwood's time at Michigan is Heisman Trophy, national title, round 1, pick 1, and then Hall of Fame career in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's the ceiling.
And when I was saying not win a playoff game, I meant like this season. I think it's too early offensively with the limitations they have at wide receiver. And there's really question, ironically enough, despite him being a freshman, based off of what I've heard, what many people have told me and what I've seen, he might be one of the more solid pieces on offense. And that can be a little bit scary with him being a true freshman, even though he's phenomenal.
I agree.
So
I could not agree more. Have you heard him speak?
No, I have not yet, but I've watched.
He's intelligent.
That's good.
He's intelligent. Yeah. He's everything that you want your quarterback to be. Like, it was, I was shocked, man, when he switched the flip.
It's a big
field.
loss for LSU too.
It was huge. Baton Rouge was in shambles, but it's so funny, because like I said, that's the ceiling, but the floor is he transfers to another team next year and Sherrone Moore gets fired. That's the floor, which is crazy. Yeah.
It is indeed very crazy, but it's something I'm very excited for. Michigan, I think, will be one of the biggest storylines, not just this year, but in the coming years, regardless of whether the ceiling or the floor is hit, based off of all of that and their recent success at the national level. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment your thoughts down below to support the work that I do here on College Football with Sam. I want to give a shout out to Crash2488, Barasco Rascal, and Connor Lula OH for being Heisman members on the Patreon page. Thanks to Chris Lane, Ismar, and Tyler Nye for being All-American members. And thanks to John Lynn, Roaming Gnome, Matthew Sale, Austin Christmas, Joshua Jorgensen, and Will Loftus for being all-conference members. Remember to check out my merchandise store, Patreon page, and Discord server as well via the links in the description or down below in the pinned comment. I will see you all very soon. Have a fantastic day. God bless.